this is a 2-story survival house. On the front, you can see that there are some farms. The materials are on the list. And also the space that you can currently see on the left-hand side, that is where the animals will go. Definitely a nice house for 2 people to use. And look at the links now that are going to help you to build this house in a much more easy way. Okay, so in order to start this, what we need to do is we need to start by building 1 block of cobblestone here. Then in the middle, we're going to build 1, 2, 3 block of wood. So 1, 2, 3. Then on the end right here, we're going to build another block of cobblestone like that. Then what we are going to do is we're then going to come to the edge here, and then we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fill that in, then add ourselves some fences like that. Then at the edge here, we're going to build across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just like that. Then what we are going to do is we are going to come across the middle here. We are then going to do exactly what we did on this side, on that side. So we're going to build across the bottom here, adding ourselves some cobblestone, just like we did there. Then adding ourselves the fences. So we're just doing the same, and then adding ourselves the cobblestone, just like this. Now that that's done, all we need to do now is in the middle area here, up until this point right here, we're going to add ourselves some wood. So destroy this blocks. Like that. Then what we need to do is we need to get ourselves some stairs. Then we're going to use ourselves some wooden stairs and then come to this edge right here and do 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to add ourselves some oak planks, add ourselves 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to come across here again. We're just going to build this up a third time, just like this. Then we're going to do it a last time, which is going to be time number 4. So 1 last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. There we go. And so now what we're going to do on the edge, we're going to build up 1, 2, 3, just like that. So in total, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then again, we're going to be 1, 2, 3. So every time, we just build up like that. So that's what that should look like. Then what we need to do now on the edge along here is we need to build this up, build up the cobblestone. So then, as you guys can see, we then have 6 on this side. And then on the edge around here, what we're going to do is add ourselves cobblestone just on the back end. Then in the middle area here, we're going to add ourselves some wood. Then what we need to do is we need to add ourselves some fences like this. And then we're going to add ourselves some fences on the edge here. Then along this wall right here, what we're going to do is we're going to basically change the build. So from here, we're going to add up 1, we're going to add up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add this in like that. So that's that design now instead. Then what we are going to do is we are going to start by building the rest of the frame of the house. So then we're going to basically use our fences, and then we're going to count us 20 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then for the final one, 21, just like that. I should have probably added the cobblestone underneath first, but you know. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over to here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to build back once, and then we're going to build 1, 2, 3. Then what we're going to do, place another cobblestone block. Then we're going to go over here and build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Build another cobblestone block here. Then we're going to go across here and build 1, 2, 3, and another final cobblestone block here. Now that's done, what we want to do is you want to get this block right here, and then we want to build up 1 already being placed, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It should be the same exact height as that. So don't join those across. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then what we need to do is we need to once again use our wood, and we need to go around the edge here like this. So essentially what we're doing is we're building a 3x3 window. So essentially all we need to do is add a layer of 3 and add another layer of 3 here. Then add another layer along here. Add another layer along here. Add another layer along here. Another layer along there. Then essentially what we need to do is come over here and break this in. Then break this in. Then what we need to do is we need to use our cobblestone, and we now need to build these pillars up to the same height as this. So 1 already being placed, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then what we need to do is along the top here, we need to add ourselves some cobblestone just like this. As you guys can see. And then we're going to add ourselves some glass panes right here. Add glass panes right here. And glass panes right here, as you guys can see. And then what we need to do now is we now need to get ourselves some more cobblestone, okay? And we need to finish off the rest of this build. So the next part of this is fairly simple. All we need to do is we need to add ourselves the windows. Now for the windows, it's quite similar to the bottom part. I just saw a layer of wood along the top here. And then what we need to do is along the middle bit here, we add ourselves some fences. And then essentially along the top here, what we're going to do is we're going to add ourselves along 4 wooden blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to place a block in the middle and place the rest with glass. Then we're going to come across here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place that in the middle. Place glass like that. There we go. And as you guys can see, that looks pretty amazing. And then what we need to do is we need to make sure that we can go ahead and continue the rest of this build by building the other side and the back part of this house. So now what we want to do, we want to come over to this point right here, destroy this fence, then build up 1, 2, 3. Come over to here, not where the stairs are, but where the first block is, and build up 1, 2, 3. Then what we want to do is in this middle area here, we would just want to add wood, just like this. So that's what that looks like. And then across this area here, we want to add ourselves a layer of wood going across the bottom. And then we want to add ourselves wood all along here, filling in this area and this area like that. So that's what we have now. Now in this area, we're going to break it open and build ourselves a door like this. Now that's done, essentially what we need to do is along the top layer of this, we need to add ourselves some wood. So add yourself some wood here like that. Then what we now need to do is we need to continue across the back. Okay, now from here, okay, what we need to do is it needs to be 20 blocks long. So count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And this should line you up with that block right here. Now using the cobblestone, you just want to build all the way up to that length. So just build all the way up to that length as well. And as you guys can see, it lines up. So then we're just going to building this cobblestone right here. So as you guys can see, now that that's done, we now need to do the next part. So for the next part, it's actually fairly simple. We need to move on to the roof and the other side of the house, and of course the fence as well. So for the fence, we just want to extend the fences across here. So we're just going to extend the fences like this. And of course, when you see the cobblestone right here, just place a cobblestone block like that. If you want to count it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then add the fences all the way along here like this. So now that that's done, as you can see, we now need to do this side of the wall. Now that that's done, all we need to do now is we need to get ourselves some cobblestone, and we need to add cobblestone all along here. So this is fairly simple. I'm going to do this right now. So as you guys can see, now that that's done, the majority of the frame of the house is done, but we now need to add the final layer that builds everything and adds the top part of the house together, including the middle section of the house. So let's go ahead and do that now. What we want to do is you want to add the balcony area right here. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to add ourselves a layer of wood along here, just like this. And that area should suffice for the balcony. Then what we want to do is we want to finally add the roof. So for the roof, all we're going to do is along the top here, we're going to add ourselves some wood like that. Then along here, we're going to add ourselves some wood just like that. So that's what the final window should look like. Then in order for the cobblestone to be built, we need to place another block here. So build everything up by 1, just like this. And add this up by 1. And just do this all the way around, just like this. And 1 there. And 1 there. So now what we need to do is we need to place ourselves some stairs, just like this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves the stairs, and we're going to place them on the edge. What we need to do is we need to add ourselves some stairs like this along the edge. So essentially starting here, we need to add ourselves some stairs going all the way around the edge of the house, just like this, making sure to bend at the corners. Then we need to come around here, add ourselves some corners like that. Then once we come around to this side, we need to essentially add ourselves the rest of this area. So now that we've got a 2-block gap between the cobblestone and the wood, around the edge of here, we just need to add ourselves one final layer of wood. And then we need to make sure that we build this wood up. So what we're going to do now is, as you guys can see right here, we're going to get the wood and we're going to build a wall along here. So we're going to build this all the way up, just like this. Then along here, we're going to build this all the way up like this, as you guys can see. And then what we now need to do is we now need to build a final wall along here. So we're going to build a final wooden wall along here, starting from here, not to confuse anything. That way it makes everything seem easier, like this. And we're just going to make sure that's the same height. I know that might have been a bit confusing, so that is what it should finally look like. Then in the center, we're going to add 2 doors like here. And of course, along this floor, we're going to make sure we add ourselves some wood, because we need wood along this entire floor. So there we go. Then what we're going to do is add ourselves some wood here like that. There we go. And then of course, we're going to add ourselves some stairs. So we're going to place some stairs here. And we're going to extend the stairs out here. Then, of course, when we get to this area in the middle here, we're going to place some stairs like that. And we're going to place some stairs there like that. There we go. So there that is. And then, of course, now what we're going to do is we're going to place underneath, over, and then underneath, and then over. So essentially what we're doing is we're building up the stairs to create a triangle pattern that will lead to the center. And essentially, once you do this enough times, you should come to a center point, and all you want to do is place a cobblestone block in the middle like that. Then what we want to do is you want to place cobblestone underneath and above like this. Then underneath and above like this. Underneath and above like this. Then what we need to do is we now need to continue building this frame of the house. So essentially, all we need to do is we need to use stairs and go around the edge of the house like this, but we need to use the wooden stairs. So keep doing this and just keep building around the edge. So then that's there. And then what we need to do is we need to do this like this. And then what we need to do is just continue adding stairs all the way around the top part of the house, just like this. There we go. Just like this. There we go. And then what we need to do is we need to get ourselves some more wood and build in the center like this. There we go. 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 There we go, like this. And then what we need to do now is, of course, I didn't mean to place those blocks there, so you can just destroy them. And I didn't mean to place that block there as well. So this is the final structure of the house, essentially being complete. Now, of course, this is very useful, and this can be used in multiple different ways for multiple different purposes. But the next final steps that you need to do is you need to basically do the farming area, because the main house is complete. So essentially underneath here, you just want to make sure you build yourself some cobblestone like this. There we go. And then we want to build cobblestone underneath here like this. There we go. And then we want to build more grass over here. Then we want to use our cobblestone and we want to break underneath the blocks like this. Then we want to build fences like this. There we go. And we want to build that. There we go. And then there we go. So yeah, as you guys can see, that's there. So now, of course, essentially what we want to do is you want to separate this up into sections. So it's dependent on you, but I like to separate this into sections that I can have everything, including my crops and all that kind of stuff. So essentially what I like to do is, essentially because of the cobblestone, what I will do is I will break this into this part like that. So I'll place the fence there, then I'll place fences here, and then I'll place fences here like that. So then what I like to do is like to get gates. Then what I'll do is I'll make sure, in fact, that block wasn't meant to be destroyed. So then, of course, I'll need a gate. So I'll place a gate here on the edge, here on the edge, here on the edge, and here on the edge as well, that you can access every area. And then, of course, you want a gate on the back because, trust me, it's going to be useful. I've had a house like this survival before. So that way you can walk through every area. So now each area is going to be a different part and a different farm. So essentially what you want to do is underneath these bits, of course, once again, you want to put cobblestone. And underneath these bits, you want to put cobblestone. Underneath this, you want to put cobblestone. Then what you want to do as well is, for example, because we want to have a farm on this area, and then we want to have cattle on this area, we need to add ourselves some water. So, of course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the water area. So, of course, we need to add an area to walk as well. So, essentially, since we're already here, what we're going to do is we're going to add cobblestone along here because this is the pathway. Cobblestone along here. Didn't mean to destroy that. Cobblestone along here. Then cobblestone along here. Didn't mean to destroy that as well. Don't know why it got destroyed. And then this area, we don't need it. So essentially what we need to do now is just need to add ourselves some water. So you can just add water in here because that's all you need. Then in here, just add yourselves 2 blocks like that. That's all you need. Then in here, just add 1. Then get yourself a hoe. Then do this. As you guys can see, farm. And all of that's going to be irrigated. Then because you have 2 blocks of water there, it's all going to be irrigated as well. And basically, the reason I add only 1 and 2 blocks of water here is because it allows you to maximize your farmland space. Because if you decide to have a whole layer of water, you don't need that much water. And essentially, you're going to be wasting land in which you could be planting and receiving much more crops. So yeah, so essentially what you want to do is you want to have one area that's one area that's carrots, one area that's like beetroot. And as you guys can see, like I said, every corner is all being irrigated, as you guys can see. So this area is going to be wheat seeds. And then, of course, this area here is going to be, that's wheat. Okay, so this is beetroot, as I said. So there we go. So that is essentially what you want to do, as you guys can see right here. And of course, if you want, you could also do this side here as well, if you wanted an extra spot as well of crop. So this is carrots, this is wheat. And then this is, of course, beetroot seeds as well. And then, of course, you could add, potentially you could add some water there as well if needed be underneath the house. So that concludes the farm part. Of course, in this area, this is where you're going to be placing animals. So you don't need to do anything. You could divvy it up a little bit more here by placing another area here, by separating it into cattle. But this is very good. So, of course, as you guys can see, you need to be able to access the downstairs area. So once we come in here, we have a nice little area we can go out here. Of course, this area is pretty small, but we have some nice area down here as well. So essentially, now that that is done, what we now need to be able to do, of course, is we need to be able to access the downstairs area. Now, in my survival builds, I like to make sure that we save as much space as possible. So I always just opt for the ladder because it is the easiest way to get down and above. So just come to the corner and place a ladder down like that. And then you're going to be able to having easy access down to this area. Now, if you're not fond of this design, what you could do is you could just have a chest in these areas here if you want to maximize space. But if you're just not fond of that design, what you could do is you could just have blocks of wood like that. And then you could just have it however you want it. And of course, in this area, make sure you add yourself some wood like this. So then now that that is done, that is going to be the entire house done. And that should be everything you guys need. And yeah, we're done.